we can hear you loud and clear. All right, let's trying to see what it's looking like.
Let's wait. We can wait a couple minutes as
Yeah,
everybody
let's
joins
see if we
in.
can share it. Yeah, this is a
Yeah,
different platform today.
I'll be sharing.
Definitely. How y'all doing, guys? How y'all doing right now? Y'all good?
Yeah, we
AJ,
good.
Ted,
We
Croc.
Yeah,
good, brother.
yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Even now, is that what it is? I want to see if you can monitor the line real quick, AJ or Shay. Your
Yeah,
question you asked, I think we should be able
yeah.
to see everybody. But just wait
Let's
till
see.
people come on.
Okay, yeah. That's good, George. That's good, Gio.
Let me just. I'm
Yeah,
trying to figure out how to.
we can see everybody. Everybody's on.
Mic check, everybody. Um, all right, so let's get it. Let's get it.
All right, let's get it. We can start. Uh, guess I'll be the spokesperson. We just wanted to come on live tonight, in light of everything that's going on in the world this week. With the death of George Floyd, we thought it would be remiss of us if we didn't, come on and just chat a little bit. We also want to do something special and let those who are interested to come in, hear your grievances. We just ask that you hold your profanity and things like that. But we just want to just talk about it, man. Just talk about it. We have a few things that we want to touch on too. But if you're interested in coming on, if you know any of us personally, you free to send us a text message, or if not, feel free to DM us at Kickinit316 or on our personal Facebook.
Yeah, we can make it available.
Yeah, we'll make it available for y'all to come on and talk with us. All right. So we'll keep coming back to that. Just remind people. I know Croc Kicks is usually manning the comments. So if he can put that out there on the comments, just to let people know. We shared it in the announcement, but we just want to let people know as they come on. So first thing we wanted to talk about, not getting too heavy into it, but just I guess our initial reaction, sort of like a where were you moment, and what ran through your head, either if you watched the whole video or if you didn't watch it at all, you just heard, you just saw pictures. Um, so I'm gonna let Croc Kits go. Well, what was your initial
Yeah,
initial reaction?
yeah, man. Good evening to everybody. Let's see one of our fellow Floridians, Pastor Brian Smith, on. What's up, brother?
What
Man,
up, B?
to be honest with you, man, I remember laying in my bed. You all were texting, sending the video out. I wasn't really trying to see it. We had just had our show. We had just ran through our conversation about GWB, and I just was like, man, I'm not trying to see another black man killed again. And then I remember my closing words of that show was keep that same energy,
Yeah,
in the sense of like the way I would feel if that was my loved one, feel about everybody whose life is lost. And
Yeah.
so I forced myself to watch that video, man, and it broke me to pieces. I mean, just to see the lack of value for a human being. And the reality of it is, man, they wouldn't even treat a dog in the manner in which they treated George, right? And man, just this overwhelming, this hurt, this pain. I'm upset. I want revenge, right?
Mm.
All these emotions are festering inside of me, and I just began to share. I began to sign petitions, make phone calls to various platforms, just to do what I can do. But man, it was and is still a very dark time.
I hear that. I know for me, man, when I just looked at it, I was like, at first I was just watching like, okay, yeah, he's gonna get up. And then even though I read the title and I knew what happened, I couldn't in my mind couldn't process what was happening because it just didn't make sense to me. This would be happening in broad daylight in front of people, in front of cameras, and you know
Yeah,
they're recording, but it still happened.
yeah,
And when as I saw, his him become unresponsive, I I then thought, okay, they're gonna get up, he's gonna be fine. The title has to be wrong because there's no way possible this can really be happening. And as I sat through and I just watched, I won't even mention the the former officer's name. But as I looked at his face, I was just like, man, this man, something is wrong with him. I just don't understand the kind of hate that it takes to sit there and do that. And like you said, man, nobody would even do that to a dog. I mean, I just and I'm still, it took me like a day or two to even like post about it, even though I've seen it and we talked about it, but it took me a day or two to post about it too, because I just couldn't. It's like, man, every time you think, okay, this has to be the worst thing we're gonna see, something happens again, and it
yeah.
just caught me. It caught me off guard, and I'm still sort of like in shock about what I've seen. I mean, for 9 minutes, bro.
Hmm.
9 whole minutes, like Crump been on TV. He said not 1 minute, not 2 minutes, 9 whole minutes. Even
My
to the point
God.
where the paramedic came and take his pulse, and the cop still has his knee on the man's neck. It's like, I don't know, Gio, you got anything to share on that, or you?
I, y'all know where I stand on that. Like, I really don't want to. That thing is really touching for me, you know. Yeah, and I initially didn't want to say nothing as relates to it because my emotions are still not in check. Not only are not my emotions in check, but like just processing what happened, right? The And as Croc said, like this is coming off of for us, it was coming off of our show dealing with driving while black, and we talked about a lack of empathy, um, and to see someone hands in pocket, smirk on face,
Mm.
like you're hearing people saying the brother can't breathe, like he's, and initially, just so that we can be clear, initially we were outraged because we thought it was just one brother, one person
Yeah,
on his neck.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So can you imagine he's saying he can't breathe, and then you now know that there's two other people, one on his midsection, one on his legs. Yeah, I can see why he wasn't breathing. He couldn't breathe. He had difficulty breathing, and for him to cry out to the officer, he's in tears. Someone said bodily fluids were released, like literally he lost control, and the guy just is doesn't care. Um, I don't know how you can put on. I don't know how humanity stops once you put on your badge. I don't think it should happen. I think that as a police officer, I don't care your color, you're human. You bleed red, and the moment you go on duty, I think you have to remember the value of a life. I think it was Croc that talked about as gun owners, that the bullet of the worth of one bullet is crucial, because you know
yeah.
that once you let it go, you can never get it back, right?
Get it
And
back.
so, bro, I don't know, man. I'm just my thought process on it now is I don't want to think too much of it. I just want to find out what can I do to help the cause, what can I do to get involved? How can I make sure that this doesn't happen to people in my context? And I know that sounds selfish, but the reality of it all is
Hey,
it hits different, it hits
survival,
differently
brother.
with, huh?
It's survival. I mean,
Yeah, when it hits
survival.
different. It hits different when it's someone that you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
And even, and again, this is my last thing. Even hearing like Steven Jackson, when now we know that this guy just wasn't just someone, one of a million people without a face, right? We know that he mattered to people. He mattered to someone that we know, right? That not that we know, but someone that we've seen play, that someone that we've given props to, you know, as sports enthusiasts. To hear that, you know, Steven Jackson and this guy were friends and closely related, whatever the tie is, and that he's just not he's just not a nobody. And in reality, no one is a nobody. Everyone who dies is akin to someone. So what I was just basically saying is, I think it hits closer. It hits different when it hits closer to home. And so my energy now, to use Croc Kicks's word, my energy now is to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone that I know or anyone. Period. So whatever it takes, you know, that's what I'm trying to step up to the plate and do in my context.
Appreciate both of y'all. Just before we go on to the next thing, just want to remind y'all we are allowing people to come on the show. So if you're interested, please DM us. If you know us personally, DM us or send us a text, whatever, and we will get you on the show. As long as you have you know, a way to talk to us, we'll get you on.
It's going to be through
I just
Zoom, right, AJ? It's going to be through a Zoom
Zoom,
code.
Zoom, we'll shoot you the Zoom code. I don't know if y'all saw this, but it just brought back to my mind. You know, we all are fathers. There was a video of a father demonstrating to his son
Hmm.
what to do if you're in that same situation.
Hmm.
What to do, and it really broke my heart, because I'm like,
Hmm.
I mean, I think our natural instinct is fight or flight, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if someone has their hands behind my back and they have their knee on my neck, he was trying to teach his son that your best thing to do is just to make your body go limp. And it just made me think, where are we in this world when these are the things we have to teach our sons in order so they can come home tomorrow or
My
tonight?
God. My God.
Where are we in this world, and what do we say? What do we? I mean, especially you two as pastors, what can you say? You know, to the young man or to the father, even in your church, what could you say to them about, you know, how to handle this situation, or just, you know, what would you say to them if they came to you right now and said, you know, Pastor, I need to understand what to do, how to do, because there are a lot of people with a lot of questions.
Bro, for me, it's by any means necessary. Whatever fits your context. I'm at the point now where, and this might sound controversial, even though it shouldn't, but I really don't care that people are writing. You know what I mean? I don't care, because at the end of the day, every reaction, from mobilizing to nonviolent to kneeling down during the national anthem, there's always going to be someone who's going to dictate to us how it is that we should feel and react to certain treatments. And until America is not faced with the reality that we live every day, I don't know that they will understand or be empathetic to what we're going through. And so for me, the spectrum is wide open. If someone is willing to I hate to say, to take one for the team, as it were, to be very militant in that area, if that works for you, that works for you. If someone is saying, well, Pastor, I just want to make sure that my son comes home, and he decides to go to the other side of the spectrum, then I don't have a problem with that, because at the end of the day, you've got to be able to do what needs to be done in order for you to come back home.
To make it home. What about you, Croc Kids? What would be your word of advice, or how do you think people should go about? I mean, without dictating, because I don't think any of us want to dictate to people what they should do.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody was to come to you, come to you at your church and say, Pastor, I just don't know, what would you say?
Man, it's unfortunate, but at this point, I gotta start off and say there's nothing you could do to guarantee your safety.
Mm.
Hmm.
Like, it used to be just comply and get home.
Yeah.
But we're seeing, even when you comply, we used to say, we talked about on the show last week,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
have the dashboard, have our own dashboard cams.
Yeah.
There was cameras all around, and they still killed this man in broad daylight on film.
Yeah.
and with a smirk on your face, like, and do something
In front of
right
witnesses, yeah.
in front of witnesses. So I got to start off by saying this, that like there is nothing that you can say to do that's going to guarantee that you make it home. Like, I don't have any tips to guarantee that you make it home. Having said that, my rule, even though I'm upset, is still comply. It still is you stand a better chance fighting in court. You stand a better chance fighting via protests and social media. At least you live to see another day. So that's always going to be my advice, is to comply. But I do think, along with complying, man, like, we all need to be seen. We need a counselor on retainer.
Like
Because
in life,
after
like in
you
life, right?
comply,
Talking real talk, bro.
after you comply, and you pretty much strip yourself of all human dignity, right? You throw your entire manhood out of the window, and you, yes sir, no sir, you do all of that. You still have to, man, honestly, if I didn't have the Lord to lean on, and just the realization that I'm worth his blood, like, what would be my worth? Because I got to bow down just to get home.
Yeah.
So my answer is comply. With the caveat that ain't nothing that you can say or do that's going to guarantee you make it home.
So when you say comply, you're talking about like during that moment, during that particular moment, the moment.
Throughout the whole process, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, be Jesus. When he says turn the other cheek, I'm saying on the cross, when he breathed his last breaths, and he uttered, and he said the words, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." You gotta dig deep and channel that inner Holy Spirit that is within you, and take it.
So it's almost like you've got to boss up. I'm sorry, you've got to boss up in terms of your internal strength, right? Because it's hard to comply now, especially if you haven't done anything wrong, right? You talking about strength? Like, I know me. I know me, bro. Y'all know me too. Yeah, we gotta pray, man. We gotta pray, and so is that a discipline? Is that a I don't know, man. I don't know.
You got to think about your children.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to think about your family. Plus, it comes down to, like we said last week, man. It's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Yeah.
So I think whatever you got to do to survive, you do it, man. I don't believe that our country, unless you're a police officer, I don't believe in the thing innocent until proven guilty, because the moment I'm arrested, that is the moment I'm guilty to somebody, because now I have a mugshot. Now I got to explain to a job, why have I been arrested? What was the outcome of it? I have to fork up the money for attorney fees, for court fees, all the other good stuff. So I don't really believe innocent until proven guilty, because I may be a presumed innocent, but if I'm behind jail, if I'm locked up, then am I really innocent? So, but I think at the end of the day, I mean, y'all are right. I mean, we got to do what we got to do to get home, but it takes a lot, especially when you know your rights, when you know you haven't done anything wrong, when you know that this person puts on their pants just like you do, and if it wasn't for the gun in the back, then they probably wouldn't even have man enough to step to you. So it definitely takes a lot.
Can we read some of these comments? Can we read some of these comments, AJ? Can you read some of these comments real quick?
I want to remind everybody, if you want to come on the show, man, we invite y'all to come on. We'll shoot us a DM and we'll send you the
link.
The Zoom code. Let's see.
Paul said something. Paul and then Joshua.
Paul said that's correct, Crockett. Unfortunately, your constitutional rights are argued in the courts and not on the streets. That is correct. We talked about this last week, man. For certain people, especially if you watch YouTube, for certain people, they can get away with arguing with a cop, call them out their name, and do everything. They go home. But for some of us, that may not be the smartest thing to do. And unfortunately, I mean, Oh, it's the world we live in. And then Joshua Nelson. Joshua said, "Money or violence. America only responds to one of these. It's the only way to change the system." Let's talk about that. Let's
Yeah,
talk about that.
Joshua. By the way, Joshua, I think did his doctorate in I think is either in urban ministry or something that deals with the urban community. If he wants to come on, Joshua, you're more than welcome, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about that, and because we're going to talk about the protest. My issue, and why I don't have an issue with the protest. I mean, if I'm involved, I'm going to be involved in something that's peaceful and to me constructive. I agree with the people standing out in front of the officer's home, making as much noise as you can because families aren't sleeping because of what you did, so you shouldn't sleep either.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
my reason why I don't take issue with those who are out there,
Mm-hmm.
doing whatever they're doing, because we're talking about destruction of property, and for the the 45th president of the United States to say, when the looting starts, the shooting starts,
My
Bro,
God.
bro,
do we now feel like life property is greater than life, so you should shoot people because they're destroying property,
that's crazy.
ignoring what caused them to be where they are, ignoring what caused them to act out the way they are. What did y'all hear? Y'all heard about the 45th president saying that?
Yeah, man. But
Yeah, man.
what's so funny about that, AJ? That particular dog whistle, I'm gonna call it what it is, finds its roots, I think, in the '60s, right here in Miami. A police chief said that in Miami, that when the rioting starts, the shooting
Yeah.
starts. And so, listen, man, as infantile as this guy is, I think that he's very intentional about what he says, and
Of
I don't
course.
buy for a second that he didn't know what he said or the history in it. You don't have to know the history to be a racist, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
That's the soundbite right there.
Say that
Yeah, I
again.
mean, yeah, I said that's definitely a soundbite right there. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. He's good at that, striking the match, lighting the fire, and then trying to back out of it, saying, "Oh, I just heard it all the time. I didn't know where it came from," but he
Yeah,
knew what it was.
yeah, definitely. Definitely, man. So I like that shirt you got on, AJ, man. That Yusef, Kevin, those are the Central Park Five.
Yeah, we call them the exonerated five
Come
now.
on
The
now. That's it.
exonerated five.
That's it.
They've been exonerated, and so you got represented, man.
Yeah.
Another comment came from Mike Childs. Mike said, "What's up, Mike?"
Big Mike.
He said, he says, "Y'all are right. If people want real change, take your money and go elsewhere. Every person that knows that this is wrong, take your money and business elsewhere. Your money goes further than burning it down." I agree with that. So, what do y'all think about this plan on July 7th to hold the black dollar? What y'all think about that?
I think it's good. I don't think we should only hold the black dollar, but I think we should invest in black businesses. So I was looking at I think Mont Rubidoux. They're looking to for I think it's from July 7th to I forget the determined date, but for like a week or two, they want us to literally invest in the black business, right? And in fact, right here in South Florida, I'm in conversation with a few. Well, we started a conversation today with a few pastors to see how can we do the same thing in our context. What we would do is we would get a database of local black-owned businesses, whether they be within our community or within our churches, and literally put that out there and say, if you're looking for groceries, there's a black-owned grocery store. And the point is, like Joshua said, America only understands two things: money and violence. And so once you reroute your funds, your finances, then you can get their attention. I think that this reminds me of college. And AJ, you said in some classes with me, I saw Dr. Paula came on. I don't know if I should say this, but there used to be a rule in that when your professors didn't show up, I think there was like a 15-minute grace rule for a PhD, something like that. And I remember I would try to mobilize the class. Hey, professor's not here. Let's get up out of here, right? But there's always one person. There's always one person that stays behind. And the thing about it is, the same is true even with these kinds of initiative. We can say, okay, let's try to mobilize to hold the black dollar. Let's try to mobilize to support our black-owned businesses. But then there are people who will always toe the line of capitalism, no matter what the circumstances are. And until we are united, I don't know how we can have a real a real united front. You know.
I got you. What you feel about that, Crockett?
Yeah. Wow. Of course, money is the language. It's the language that they will listen to. It's why we got the conviction, well, the not the conviction, but the charge.
Yeah.
It's not the charge that we want to hear, but money is the reason. Businesses are being closed. Um, Insurances are having to pay out all this money. That's
Hmm.
the reason why action took place. It wasn't because there was new evidence. All the evidence had already been put out there, right?
Yep.
Um, so I agree that we need to invest in black businesses.
Sorry, my guard dog.
That's my little dog.
I'm sorry, you need to get your strap. I mean, I'll
You
be
know what I'm saying? What's going on?
Hey, don't worry, they
so
everywhere.
so
That's Cash. That was Cash.
Yeah.
and Josh, Pastor Nelson, he should be calling. I gave him the information, so
Okay.
keep an eye out on that. But yeah, so I agree completely with that. We got to be committed to it, but I agree with it. I will say though, I don't know, and I get the point, but I understand why they're burning stuff down.
I get it. You get it.
And
Yeah.
I would like to say that there's some evidence that's coming out that would suggest that not all these fires were started by these looters.
Of
Oh yeah.
course
We
not. We
know.
know that.
Yeah.
We know. We know we got people infiltrating. That's old news, bro. That we have
That's
people who are paid to
everywhere.
incite, and this is not even that's not conspiracy theory. That's reality. You know what I mean? So I hear you, Shay. You're right. You're right on the money.
So
You
yeah,
said
we got to get that black dollar to circulate within our community more. But man, this is what happens. One of my friends, she had a post, and I reposted it on Instagram, and the post where her quote was, "We tried to kneel
my lord.
peacefully,
Hmm.
and you had a problem with that." Like, this whole blackout started because Kaepernick took a knee,
For the same
Yeah.
reason, for this purpose. Yeah.
and there was this outrage. How dare he take a knee? And this officer took a knee on a human being's throat.
For 9 minutes.
And
And
where's the outcry? Now I've been watching my timeline, man, and I do have some friends, some friends I went to school with, I grew up with,
Mhm.
that are white or
Mhm.
Hispanic, and I'm seeing the outcry, and we need more of that, because as black people have been saying this for a long time, and perhaps
There go
this is
Josh.
what we needed, so that the masses can jump on into this movement.
Yo, you said something earlier, AJ. What's up, Josh? He's flexing with that cap. I see you. Um, you said something real quick before we get to Josh. You said something about the charges, and us being from Florida, and I hate to say it that way, man, but the whole Trayvon Martin thing. We, sometimes, we want that elevated charge, right?
Yeah.
Um, but as AJ always says, it's not what we know is
What
what you
you
can
know is
prove.
about what you can. And I
Yeah.
think brought it up. I think that the third degree charges and the manslaughter charge are appropriate, and that so everybody wants first degree, and everybody hears first degree. And I want first degree.
That's
I
an
want
acquittal
first
waiting
degree.
to happen.
First degree requires them to prove intent. They would have to prove that he intentionally did this. Now, to all of us, it looks like he intentionally did it,
Let's
but
prove it.
then it's going to come into to the thing of, okay, at what point, was he doing it to subdue the guy? Was it part of his job? At what point did he actually die? Now the autopsy report, the first autopsy report is now saying that maybe he didn't die from asphyxiation or suffocation. So if they were going to do first degree murder, it would require that. Third degree requires more of um, a I would say more of a willful type of thing, like where I didn't intentionally do it, but I knew that what I was doing could cause this person to die. And then
Yeah.
manslaughter is either you were just reckless or again you were willful in what you were doing. So you were saying that I just really don't care per se. So I think those two charges, and those aren't exact things. I'm not a criminal defense attorney, but those two things I think are appropriate because convicting a cop of first degree murder, don't hold your breath on that. But we're gonna bring in Joshua Nelson. I believe you're a pastor, man. You're good friends with George and Shay.
Powerhouse,
I mean Geo and
powerhouse,
Croc Kicks.
If
powerhouse.
I'm gonna
if I
let
could do
them
a brief
go ahead and
intro,
ask the questions and bring you in.
I was gonna say Joshua
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
when I was at a seminar, I think I was president of the Black Association of the Seminary, and after I graduated, I think Joshua became that president. And from all that I know of him, dude is a very stand-up guy. He's very academically sound, theologically sound, and he's very conscious and sensitive to the needs of our community. And he's a good guy, man.
let me say one thing also, man. We were at a certain school, a certain university,
You won't say it. You won't say it.
and our department didn't have like heat.
Was it in Michigan?
No, it was in the South.
Uh, uh,
Our
uh,
department,
don't yeah,
didn't have
don't name that
heat.
school.
Our
Yeah, don't name
department
this.
didn't have heat. It had the same chairs from decades ago.
My God.
And Pastor Nelson really organized us to really take matters into our own hands. He called the president.
Come on now.
And we were going to protest. And the president called him back and told him, listen, y'all take the day off. Don't even come to school. Like, y'all just relax, and I'll have somebody on the roof Monday. And they began to renovate Mosley, and we had classes for the rest of the semester over in BT. So one of the things I can say about Joshua, right? One of the things I can say about Joshua is he uses his mind to get things done. It's not just verbiage, but he uses his mind. So with that being said, man, what are you thinking, man? What are your thoughts, man?
I appreciate that, man. Like real talk, first off, I just want to say I really appreciate the conversation and just the consciousness y'all are bringing to this, just this platform, and just been watching you guys and just following you guys. And I appreciate adding the social justice aspect, to the Kicking It conversation. So just big ups to you guys, appreciate, three y'all real talk. And then the intro, appreciate that, man. I just, and George, you kind of referenced it, I did my dissertation, I did a degree in urban ministry, and I wrote my dissertation, it was a dialogical conversation study between young Black men and police officers. And what I did, I brought them together for a 3-week program, and to kind of see if I could get through a manual that I wrote, if I can get them to change perspectives on each other. So I did a pre-test and a post-test. It's interesting, man, because the post-test showed that the young boys, they changed their perspective on the police. The police were able to get them to kind of change their perspective, but the vice versa, the police, they changed.
My God.
It just kind of, like, with that, it kind of showed me just the deep rootedness of like how their blood is blue. If I can say that, just how thick it really is.
Wow. Joshua, can I ask you a question real quick? I'm sorry. Yeah. Is there a reason for that? Were you able to figure out why is it that they're not able to change their perspective even after being in this study with these individuals for 3 weeks?
Man, with the study I did, man, we didn't really address the why, but just the fact that it didn't happen. We did a lot of things, and it wasn't that it was a negative. It didn't. Maybe it wasn't enough time. Maybe it wasn't enough time, but it's just something that I've and I think that through this whole thing, what we've experienced with the issue we in now with George is just like, you know, now everybody sees it, you know, it's blatant, you know. Before we have it to kind of argue and make our point and whatnot, you know, and now people are kind of waking up and saying, you know, people I don't even know who are trying to be on the fight are calling me and saying, I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, we've been doing this for a long time. We've been talking for years. Like, what are you talking about? You know?
Yeah.
But it just kind of shows me, like, I don't know what's going to change it. I mean, I feel like the manual I wrote was cool. Like, you know, maybe it could help a little bit, but I just don't know what can change it. And that's why I wrote what I wrote on the feed. Like, honestly, I was talking to my wife and I was like, yo, like, violence, I mean, that's the only thing they're gonna really respond to. And I feel like at this point, and I'm gonna say this like this. I know I'm on Facebook, whatever. I know I'm live. I'm gonna say it like this.
Speak your truth, man.
Like, real talk, man. Like, it, you know, at this point, I'd rather die than be a slave. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is our blood is in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so this, like, I'm not gonna run from this country. Like, this is my country because my ancestors built this country. You know what I'm saying? So I think we have a bigger stake to it than anybody. So at the same time, when the slaves were, you know, when they were trying to get out, like, they were willing to risk their lives, you know. And I think a lot of us are just scared, you know. I'm not talking about just literally dying either. I'm talking about money. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna put something down on the line. Like, you got to know what you're gonna put down on the line. I think that is kind of like what we're afraid as a people, as a church, however you want to say it. Like, we ain't really trying to go there. We're trying to sit back and watch it on the screen, watch it on CNN, but you're really trying to go in there and do what you got to do. And that's why I'm like, I ain't mad at the dudes out there doing their thing. I know it's not right, but I ain't mad at them.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, someone say, go ahead, H. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This, as we watch the video, and after that, you know, people started talking about at what point, or will we get to that point when, if you see something like this, that we react rather than recording, rather than yelling at the officer. Is there something? Do you think we're going to get to the point? I won't ask you what you would do, but do you think we're going to get to the point where people are going to be tired and just, if they see this happens again, everybody in that crowd attacks? Do you think we're going to get to that point?
Well, you know, these laws were not created, I think, for us. I did read somewhere where there are certain exceptions when there is an unlawful arrest, that individuals may be able to step in. But as we discussed this, I think we discussed this offline. You know, that's not something that we would necessarily be able to get away with. You know, I've seen a lot of people who don't look like me be able to have these kind of conversations with police officers and get a slap on the wrist, or, you know, told to go home. But the moment you get off of that sidewalk or you try to interfere, bro, you're leaving in handcuffs, and that's the mildest case. You know, you would hope you're leaving handcuffs, but it could always be something to a greater degree.
It's gonna happen. Let me go another direction. It's gonna happen if these acts continue. It's gonna take the wrong situation, right? You gotta have numbers on your side. No one person is gonna reach an officer. I mean, especially most of these incidences, 2 of them at a time. A bullet travels faster than you can run, right? But in the right I guess in the wrong situation, and numbers are on the side of the victim, right? I believe the crowds will turn on the oppressor. I believe we're getting to that point. I watched a video. Where was it? Was it Atlanta or Miami? I don't know if y'all. It was California when they were protesting on the freeway
today. Yeah.
And they were busting out the CHP's windows.
Yeah.
And then one person jumped on the vehicle, and the cop drove off. It didn't peel off fast, but when he drove off, the person tried to jump off the car, fell, hit his head on the ground, was unconscious. Another CHP pulled up next to the person it appeared to be to help. And the crowd jumped on that car. Like, people are at a breaking point.
They're at a boiling point. Yeah, they are. Yeah, and I guess going back to what we said earlier, I get it. And, you know, I'm concerned for the safety, but at the end of the day, you know, I can't, you know, I don't know how to say that without sounding indifferent. You know, even as a pastor, what I want to say is I get the frustration. I'm concerned for the safety of both officers and protesters, but at the end of the day, um, how else do you get someone's attention? What else do you do? Right? What else do you do? Yeah.
Well, how you feel about this, Joshua? What's your take on this?
Yeah, man. I'll say this, man. I'm gonna let y'all do your thing. Like, I'm struggling, man. I'm struggling, and I was listening to someone just today on Sirius XM. He wrote a book basically talking about like you can get angry, but sin not type of thing. Something I can't remember the title of the book. And I was just thinking, man, I don't know. Like, I mean, and of course tomorrow I gotta give something to the saints. And I'm just kind of thinking like, man, what would Jesus do? But I really been reflecting and just thinking like, man, Jesus would be up in the. I mean, what would Jesus be like? What would he do right now? Like on the Sabbath, what would he be doing right now? Like
he'd be protesting.
He'd be out there. You know what I'm saying?
He'd be protesting.
He'd be locked up in his house. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just feel like we have to really think about the heart of God, and the heart of God, and that God has always been angry when people are unjust. I mean, he says, I desire mercy and not sacrifice. I'd rather you be merciful than go to church, honestly. Rather you be merciful and give your tithe, like, that's what I'm about. So I think like we have to rethink this thing and think like, God is literally smiting people down in the Old Testament because they were being unjust, and so it's him seeing officers, do what this man did to our brother that got God so angry that he killed Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I'm saying? This is the kind of stuff that gets God angry. So I think we have a righteous right to be upset, and it's okay. Obviously, we have to let God be God. We can't go to that extreme and take it to our own hands. There's still a way to do things. But at the end of the day, we can be angry.
Bro, Josh, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Appreciate you, man.
And your words of wisdom are always welcome, bro. Anything you want to plug? What are you guys on Facebook tomorrow or your book? I know you have a book.
I've been doing a conversation with the church now on Zoom. We're gonna get back on our Uplift app. If y'all on the Facebook page, y'all can. We got some new content coming out in a couple weeks. So
that's what's up, bro.
Yo, I seen them kicks. I seen them ones, man.
A little bit of levity, yes. Yeah, I appreciate you, Josh.
Save them ducats.
Take care. Yes, sir.
All right, peace be. Man, so that was Josh.
For those who have just logged in with us, man, if you would just go ahead and hit that like and then also share. We're just having a dialogue, conversation about the events that are transpiring before our eyes. We want a space where we can, vent, but have some constructive parameters around our venting. So that's what we're aiming to do now.
Yeah, and if you want to come on, man, feel free to DM us. We'll
just
bring
on.
You on.
I see you.
I see my neighbor Amanda Otieno. What's up?
So if you guys want to come on, just hit us up. We'll give you the link. What's up, Winston? We'll give y'all the link. Lavina's out here being very proactive and very active in the chat. We thank you.
Appreciate it.
If you want to come on,
an influencer.
Yes,
what else we got? What else we got, AJ? I mean, Ted.
Yeah. So I just want to ask y'all. So we know one officer. Do y'all feel like it should be 3 more in jail with him?
Oh, heck yeah. Boy, you almost got me to say something I was going to get myself in trouble, boy. Oh, heck yeah. Listen, man, as a pastor, I've been in circumstances where I've had to go to jails, even to court because one of my members was in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people, right? And because of that circumstance, he was equally charged as the others. I don't see a difference. I don't know what the statutes are in Minnesota, but I think that if you found just cause to charge one with murder, even if it's in a 3rd degree, and again, I'm not a lawyer, but I would say that the others should be able to, even get some accomplices charges to go along with that. So I'm not necessarily happy, and I don't think that arresting one placates. And I think that that's what they wanted to do. They want to placate. They're not trying to serve justice. They want to try to stem the bleeding. But the only way to do that is to have justice. And justice denied or justice delayed, as we know, is justice denied. So we're not gonna play these tactics. We I think that the common belief and want from that community is that all for a charge. And then guess what? Justice will take its course. We're not saying we're saying charge them, then let that course take its place in the courts. So that's my understanding.
Yeah, I agree with that 1,000%. I believe that I think we talked about this the other day. If all three of us decide to ride, to go rob a bank, even though I'm the only person to go inside, if you two sitting in the car and you know why I'm there, when the police catch up with us, all three of us going to jail. So
Yeah.
I think it's automatic. Like, why aren't the other three in jail?
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes to show the system isn't for us. It goes to show that their hearts aren't in the right place. It goes to show that they're willing to just give us just enough that will keep us quiet, just enough that will stop these riots or the looting from continuing. But clearly, the only thing that's going to put out this fire is convictions. Like, we want charges and we want convictions. And I understand the misdemeanor. I mean the
third degree.
The third degree, and I understand that because we witnessed that play out in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Various cases, right? So I get that. But it just shows that the system ain't trying to do the right thing. It shows that we're upset for all the right reasons. So all those police officers played a part in that. None of them protected and served. And I made a post and I said, whenever your loyalty to your partner goes above was morally correct,
apathy. Mm-hmm.
Like, that's and it costs us a life or something. That's your game.
Yeah.
Like, you're worse than the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real.
I gotta say, and I appreciate. I've seen several police officers that I know.
Yep.
That have left strong statements. One even said,
Please.
"If you're in the badge of the star and you don't want to do your job right, you're making it hard for us to do our job right. Leave. We don't want you. We don't need you. Please leave now." And I appreciate those who are saying that, because there's a post going around that says, so if you have 100 bad officers and 10 good officers, and those 10 good officers don't say anything about the 100 bad officers, then you have 110 bad officers.
That's it.
So I appreciate those who are speaking up, because it takes that type of attitude to make a change. Because if people are just if I'm sitting there and I see somebody being killed and I just think my loyalty is to the blue line versus to the humanity, then we're in a bad state, man.
Just on. Go ahead, H. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
I was saying Justin is active, man. If he wants to come on, hit me up on a text, hit Shay up, and we'll give you the link. AJ, go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Let's read his comment. So he said the system isn't broken; it's working as designed. What will it really take to start a new nation system? Even USA having enough black wealth? Yeah, we talked about that earlier about supporting black-owned business. And one thing I didn't say at the time was my only issue with the blackout or on the July 7th is that it don't make any difference if we hold our money on July 7th, but July 8th we go spend every penny.
That's what I'm saying.
Back to the retailers. So
we'll be right back in dealers.
Bro,
yeah, July 7th it's good. We say we're gonna stop today and then tomorrow I'm gonna start supporting small, local-owned minority businesses. These are the businesses I'm going to support from July 8th to whenever. But just holding your money July 7th and then go spend it all on 8th. I mean, you ain't. So that's my issue.
I, I think that you're right, and that's one of the points we had. Just consistency. We can't just let these events happen, and then we get very conscious, and then we let them draw out the process to the point where we forget what happened. Lavina says this, and it got penned. It says, let me see if I can read the letter. What does it say here?
I got it.
She says, "What do you think about the rioting happening in other cities?" Not sure if you touched on it yet. We haven't. And for me, I'll go first, and then we'll give it up. For me, I don't think that it is for me. I mean, I get it, because what happened in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, has been played out in all of these cities hundreds of times over, right? For I believe for every one case that gets to the national attention, there's probably 10 or 20 more that are happening around the same time during the same season. And so even tomorrow, I hope it won't be rioting. There's going to be a protest that I'm going to be a part of down in Coral Gables, off of I think it's 3175 Miracle Mile. So if you're in Miami and you want to be a part of this protest, this march, we're going to march from there to the city hall. I don't have a problem with it, because at the end of the day, these stories get played out in almost every corner of this country. And so people have certain feelings about it. It may have happened in Minneapolis, but guess what? I'm here in Miami, and I'm not able to march in Minneapolis. So if I'm able to march here, that's what I'm going to do.
Man, I think the reason why we see rioting, sorry, I can't talk right now, rioting happening in other states and cities is because people are tired, people are frustrated. I mean, of course, you're gonna have some bad apples in the bunch, but I think I don't know how you can watch what happened and not evoke some type of emotion. And for some people, they respond in anger. That's how people respond. And you can't for every for every action there is a positive or negative reaction or something to that effect. But I think what you see is people are upset, people are hurting, people are tired of the same thing over and over and over again. And then for it to take, even though the DA got on today and said, "Oh, this happened swiftly." Man, that man got killed Monday. We saw it happen Monday. So
it wasn't swiftly.
Why did it take till Friday for you to arrest a man? If it was me and somebody said I killed somebody, they're gonna arrest me.
Right.
They're not gonna figure it out and then arrest me. No, they're gonna arrest me first and then figure out the rest. So why does it take that long?
Yeah.
I can't answer that question, bro.
Man, I don't even. These aren't my words, but I'll share this post. Somebody made a post: burning down, buildings and destroying your neighborhood is going to bring George back. And the response was, bombing Iraq didn't change 9/11. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about that is no matter where we were when 9/11 happened, we all felt that joint. I remember where I was. I was actually in a history class in TCC, and my professor told us to go home. Like, this is history. You're watching it right now. Go home and watch it.
Class in Mosley.
Yeah, we were in Mosley, bro. Greek class. Yes, it was. Yeah.
So we need to talk about domestic terrorism, right?
Well,
And when you sit there and you see people being terrorized, like you're already in cuffs, you're restrained, and he's snuffing you out, taking your breath away. Like, no matter where you are geographically, if you're a human being it impacts you. So yeah, there's going to be protests and protests, you know, with you're not seeing the answers that you like to see. Yeah, they turn into riots.
Bro, these grievances, and here's the thing. The thing about it is there's so much a person can take. Someone put it this way. I think it might have been one of our friend, mutual friend. He says kind of like if someone, you know, steps on your toe, and you say sorry, and he does it again, and he says sorry, and there's a third time. After a while, like that sorry doesn't mean anything to me, right? And so, like, I feel as though every time that something has happened, they've tried to find a way to literally placate our community by giving us crumbs. And brothers are tired of crumbs. We want to eat. We want to feast. We want to be able to live in a country where we can walk, where we can go to the store and buy Skittles, where we can sell, but maybe not me, but where people can sell Lucy's and not get choked out, where people can drive, you know what I'm saying, and not fear that if they get pulled over, they're going to get shot because they're pulling out their licenses. Like, yo, we want to live too. And so I think when you see the boiling point boil over like this, is because people are just literally fed up. And you got to understand that, you know. Understanding does not mean you're condoning, but you see their perspective, you see it from their eyes. And that's where we at.
I like the illustration you just used. If you keep stepping on my toe, eventually my toe gonna be hurting so bad that I don't hear your sorries. All I can do is try to stop you from stepping on my toe. And I think that's where people are. And I don't really know, you know, what else. I think people are just lost right now. People are just lost. There's more questions than answers. There's more doubt coming out. Earlier this week, the DA said before he arrested the guy, he said there's some evidence that could show that it wasn't criminal.
Crazy.
And it's like, did you see the same tape I saw?
Bro, but you saying all this, and let me just say this, man. Like, yo, we got to take politics out of crime, out of criminality, of criminal acts. Like, literally, bro, there are certain things that are very objective. You've got the body cams, you got the actual footage from different vantage points. You got people who are there who voiced their like even this guy, the Asian officer, one. And that goes back to what Shay was saying. One guy actually was going to get off of the sidewalk to see if he can maybe try to mitigate the circumstances, and your boy jumped at him, right? So yeah, man. Like whatever, man. I think politics play a role in it, and until we politicize what's happening to the black community, we will never amount to a level of common humanity. Like people politicize our reality, and that to me is crazy, right? This is not a left or right thing, a black or white thing, a liberal or conservative thing. No, people are dying, right? And you know, evidence is evidence.
Yeah, I think I think you said not only they're politicizing, but they're trivializing the lives of people. What do y'all feel? I don't know if you heard today that the first autopsy came out, and I know I said it briefly, but they said that there's no evidence of suffocation or
Me not care. Me not care.
Bruh.
Oh yeah, I want these. Yeah, these raw emotions, dog. What is that?
I'll be honest
like
with you, man. You know, I'm looking at our notes, you know, and I saw, you know, this was coming up, and I hadn't read the autopsy report as yet. So y'all saw my head down a few minutes ago. I was looking at that joint. As soon as I read the first sentence, I was just like, I don't even want to read no more of these filth lies, bro.
Yeah.
Like, bro. I don't trust nothing that government that state does, nothing, and especially the city. Like, we're starting to hear reports of this officer has had a history
18
of complaints,
18 complaints,
a history of potential violations, and he's still on the police force. And now you're trying to tell me that this man's death were because of underlying health, heart disease, and what other crap did they say?
Oh no, the the big thing, and this is a this is a red herring. If you know anything about law, they said that possible intoxicants in his body. So
Yeah.
if you have done a thorough autopsy, then either A, you know for sure there either are or not intoxicants, and if you are waiting on the blood test to come back, the lab results to tell you what it was, then you would say we're waiting on further lab tests for any other thing. But you won't say in the autopsy report possible intoxicant. You just don't do that, because now the defense attorney is going to use that. Yeah, I don't know what's possible intoxicants. I've never seen that. Never,
I don't think that the full toxicology report has come back from what I understand. But listen, this is part of is a part of the whole playbook that they utilize. And when I say they, I mean they, right? I mean they. I'm saying it just like it is, right? They're gonna they're gonna make the victim a villain, right?
Yeah.
So listen, I don't care. People are drunk every day. People are high every day. People have heart disease and what all kinds of morbidities every day. But you know what? They don't die. I mean, some people die. But what I'm saying is something precipitated his death. He was chilling. The day before, and if no one had applied pressure to his neck, he might have been chilling on the day after. The reality of it all is, at the end of the day, you may not see signs of asphyxiation, but what caused his death was that officer.
Well,
Bro.
the my bad. I'm gonna let you go. But so the family has hired a New York medical examiner to come in and do another autopsy to get down to
Absolutely.
nitty gritty.
I was just gonna say, man, it just screams cover up. You know, they're already starting to do their part. We know they didn't want to arrest this man.
Mm-hmm.
We know they already are dragging their feet and arresting the other individuals. And so, yeah, they're going to start now creating this narrative that he was he was a bad guy, right? But I'll be honest with you, man, there was something else that I saw in the video that was appalling to me. And it's the culture of that city. And I'm only going to speak to that city because I saw it there. But even the paramedics, man, when they pulled up on the scene and they saw this man was dead, there was nobody rebuked this man.
No sense of urgency either.
You come, you check him, you see that he's not responsive really, and nobody says enough.
Yeah.
Enough. Nobody. Everybody is walking on tippy toes because everybody's trying to cover the actions of the police officer. And when are we going to be able to just say right is right and wrong is wrong? And of course, we're not talking about all law enforcement. Listen, if something happens in my house right now, I'm calling 911.
Bro.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm grateful for law enforcement. I saw one of our colleagues, his son had a drive-by, a birthday party of all the law enforcement in here, some of them in Hillsborough County. It was a beautiful sight. I love that, right? We're talking about bad cops. That's all we're talking about here. Bad cops, right? And that culture, man, it's a big game, man.
Yeah.
And then also to add to that, I found it. I've seen paramedics come to a site, and if somebody is unresponsive, then they will try to render immediate aid. In the report that I saw, he said that the EMS waited till they got to the hospital to try to, I guess, what do you call it, resuscitate them with the thing, whatever. They with the defibrillator.
Yeah.
And I can't, and I'm thinking, and they said that's when he died at the hospital. We know that's a lie, but anyways.
Bro, he was definitely.
We know he died. We know he ain't died.
He was different before.
The hospital. Why wait till you get to the hospital to try to do that? Don't you have all this equipment and stuff in the back of the ambulance? Why wait till you get to the hospital? to me, why when you get there and the cop still have his knee on the man's neck? Number one, like Croc said, why didn't you tell him get off of this man? It's enough. And then why did you just drag him and not try to help in that moment? If I'm unresponsive and you feel like I don't have a pulse, shouldn't you render immediate aid
Right
then? I mean,
there,
I'm not a medical
immediately.
Yeah.
professional, maybe somebody
It's
is, but I just don't, bruh.
it's listen, I'm gonna keep saying this till I turn blue in the face. It's a lack of empathy. And I think that's why representation is key. November's around the corner. You know, is we have to fight this battle on multiple fronts. It's just not being activists on the streets, but it's being activists in the ballot boxes as well. It's being activists with the dollars, you know. And going back to what Paul said, we don't Paul Cleveland, fellow classmate and sweet mate of mine. He it's not just, it can't just be a one-off. It has to become a movement, right? Something that a lifestyle change. Because you know, equality is a just cause that is worth fighting for. And so yeah, I've read some places where people are now advocating that in terms of policing, that you would have the police, the policing in your community should reflect the demographics of your community. I agree with that, because at the end of the day, I don't, you know, people who look like me will understand my pain. At least they should understand my pain. Um, and so, you know,
I mean, but even to that extent, even if it can't be people that look like me, I think police should be a part of the community. That means that if it is your job to police my area, then
live
you need to
there.
come out, talk to people. Now you have to live there. Just come out there, talk to people. Don't just show up when something bad is happening, because then now you're seen as an outsider, somebody who is coming to stir up trouble. But if you're there on a daily basis, like we see videos of cops going playing basketball with kids outside and doing nice things. Just be present, be there. Don't just be the bad guy. The thing that we supposed to hear about cops is protect and serve, not just cause trouble. And so I think
Yeah.
if they are more active in the communities that they're in, those who are policing communities. If you're a highway patrol and you're out on the highway, you're a detective, you do your thing. But those who are in squad cars in these local communities, they need to be a part of those communities, because then now you can build a rapport. Like even Joshua said that after the young man spent 3 weeks with the cops, they changed their attitude towards them. Unfortunately, the cops didn't change their attitude towards them. But now you have young men who see you as an advocate, as somebody who's a part of the community, not Mr. Big Bad Guy coming in there now to
I,
tear things up.
I have a question. What do
Yeah.
you all think or feel about the need for more black police officers?
It's needed, bro. It's needed. It's sorely needed, and that's what I was alluding to in my comment. But I want to be real with you. They, in terms of percentages or in terms of even admittances to certain departments, it's hard um, for black people to get in. I think after they reach their quota, it's almost impossible to get in. I had a family member. I think I share with you guys, who was trying to become a police officer. I mean, the guy was physically fit, college graduate, good credit, even fair skin, but he's black. He's black, and
Everything going.
and he tried in Miami departments. He tried in Tampa. He tried in Orlando. And as they were giving people scholarships to go to police academy, they wouldn't even touch him. Never been arrested, no criminal records. And so I think that is one thing that said we should have blacks in police departments. But the question is, are they hiring people beyond their quotas, beyond the quotas, and I don't know that that's necessarily happening.
Yeah, my thing is, yes, we should have more. I think that anything like that should be diverse, but we don't just need more black faces. We need the right faces. I
That's
told you
right.
in one of my experiences, I was pulled over and
By black
harassed
man.
by a cop because he felt like, because he was on that side of the line, he had his partner in the car. He had to show him that he's the big bad wolf, big bad wolf. So we don't
Yeah.
just need black faces. We need the right faces. I don't care. I personally don't care if the officer, like I said, I've seen some officers that I know who have spoken out tremendously about this. So I don't care, and they're from all colors of the rainbow. So I don't care what they look like. I just care if you do your job right. You are a civil servant. Your job is to protect and to serve. That should be what you do every day. Yes, you have some bad people you run into, but not everybody you run into is a bad person. Just like you know some bad cops, but not every cop is a bad person. Treat
Hmm.
people the same way. And I
Yeah.
think if there's, and we talked about this last week, I think Croc brought it up. If we live with love for humanity, then we will act a certain way. But until people respect us as humans, not just one fourth, one fifth, three fifths of a human, until people see us as as humans, they won't respect who we are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a black cop, white cop, whatever, because they're gonna feel like, hey, if I run up on this 6'2", 250-pound black dude, then he gonna cause me trouble, and that's not true.
Yeah.
It's not
Very
true
good.
at all.
Very good. AJ, how we doing on time, B?
Man, we've been off about an hour now. I mean, I just want to know if we just want to remind y'all once again, man, last call. If you want to come on the show and just share something, want to share your grievance, please DM us right now. We will get you on. We're gonna hang on for a few more minutes. We just want to have opportunity for people to come on and share what's on their minds, what's on their hearts. We believe that being able to talk about things that are going on will help people.
Let,
Um,
uh,
so
let me try and you know turn this thing around a little bit, right? Um, I see Jessica Dudley in here. I know she always has a song in her heart, man. I see Jess Dawn in here. Man, what are some songs, some gospel songs that you all have been listening to that have really been able to kind of pick your spirits up a little bit, or at least give you the
Mhm.
strength to continue to press on? And as anybody, what have you all been listening to?
I don't know if it's been gospel. Fight the power. I don't know.
I like that song that young man did. I think his name is Keaton.
Yeah.
Um,
We just
Yeah.
want to
young
live.
black man.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. Of course, you always go back to Sam Cooke.
Hmm.
What's going on? Is that Sam Cooke? I think it's Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
Um, Chloe and what's her name? The two girls singing for Beyonce. They did one. Our own Oakwood University. We had a couple guys do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I take
yeah,
I
that was
take
dope.
six. That was dope.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was dope. I mean, I just been listening to stuff that's put out there on social media personally.
Well,
I,
go ahead, Shay.
man,
That song
JJ,
by Reverend Kendrick Lamar.
The good reverend.
I got Take Six, Come Unto Me. I like that. I like that. I've been listening to this JJ
Harrison.
Harrison uh Miracle Dance.
Mm.
The end of the chorus says, I may not see it, but I hear it,
Mm.
and it's getting ready to happen. And I just believe, I don't know what it is, but I believe something is getting ready to happen, man. And I'm trusting God through this thing, man. It's getting ready to happen, man. I may not be able to see it, but I hear it, man. I
Something's
hear
gonna
it. It's
happen.
getting ready to happen.
Well, I like some good old hymns. In times like these, we need a savior. Be very sure. Be very sure. So for me, honestly, I'm gonna be very real. I haven't listened to gospel in the last couple of days. I've been really disturbed, um, and I've been reading the Word of God, but it's been hard for me to just kind of process things. So I will not tell a lie and tell you I was listening to gospel the last couple of days, but like like a boy said, that I was listening to Reverend Childish Gambino. This is
Yes,
America.
sir. I got him on my record player right now.
I'm trying to turn the corner.
Go ahead and turn it. Go ahead and turn it.
My hands are lifted up.
Yeah, but man, we thank everybody for joining us tonight.
Yes, sir.
Man. We just want to come on and share some thoughts, man, to get some stuff out in the open. I just say to everybody, man, hold on, man, do what you can. Now is not the time to get sidetracked. When this thing does die down, we need to remain active. If you only vote in the presidential elections, then you are neglecting or you are derelicting your duty
Yeah.
in your civic duty. Local elections matter. Think about this DA. This DA in Minnesota got voted in. So your
Over.
local elections matter. So if you skip over your local elections, then stuff like this happens. If you get out and vote, you make your voice heard. If we come together, have an agenda of who we want to put in office and why we want them in there, then we're even more powerful. So do your part, vote, speak out. There are hundreds of petitions going out. There are peaceful protests being set up. If you don't see one in your area, start one up, man. It doesn't have to be anything big. Some people getting together somewhere with some signs and just singing songs. Whatever you can do, man, it's better to do it than sit back and then hope nothing happens and something happens again and we're in this whole situation again, man. We got to be active. As Croc told us last time, man, keep that same energy. So
keep the energy going.
Pass it on to YouTube.
A question to both of you: any plans on marching and protesting? Again, one of the things I like about you guys, about our friendship, our group, is that as much as we cut up as friends, we want to always give back to our community and be as grounded as we can. So we've marched together. I mean, that's dope. We have marched together. We have been to protests together. And so I'm asking you, in terms of what's happening, what has happened these past few weeks, any plans of yours to be a part of anything like that?
Yeah. I know that there was one. Well, we just found out that the former officer, whose name I would never mention, on the townhome here, not too far from here in Windermere, Florida. So there was a protest out in front of his home today. I missed that one, but I do understand this wasn't going on tomorrow. But I will miss that because I know these guys haven't said it yet. But tomorrow we're going to
the townhouse of Windermere.
Yeah. So I sent you the text. You didn't get it? Yeah, bro.
Oh, police salary?
Bro. The plot thickens. He was a bouncer and a police officer. I guess he can afford Windermere, you know. So yeah. But for those of you all who don't know about Windermere in Central Florida, exclusive. Yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah. Those type of. But yeah. So tomorrow at I believe around 4:45, we're going to be on Throwback Page with Xavier Lewis. We'll send some information about that out tomorrow. So I'm going to miss the rally here tomorrow because we're going to be on that show. But if anything else comes up, I mean, like y'all said, we were at the Trayvon Martin rally together. So, you know, if anything else comes up, I'm definitely going to be there. I know, Joe, you said you're going to one as well.
Well, we have two planned in Miami. If you're in South Florida, look up Protest Miami on Instagram. The first one's going to be at Coral Gables, which is kind of crazy because Coral Gables is night and day. But I like the fact that people of other of different ethnic backgrounds are becoming very active, and so they're going to march down this A1 neighborhood, this A+ neighborhood, and make those people feel very uncomfortable. So I'm all for that. And then the next one's going to be at Bayside or Bayfront Park, and then they're going to march to the police department downtown or Miami. And so that's going to be a Sunday at 12 noon. And so tomorrow and Sunday I'll be marching.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep my ears open. I haven't really heard of anything here in Huntsville. But I'll be honest with you, just the climate that is right now. I'm not really trying to be out there in this climate. Things are turning left. So I'm one of those people, man, when God speaks to me, it tells me to go somewhere. When we went to the Trayvon Martin rally, I clearly heard God's voice and I went. I'm covered when I follow God. You know, I'm not hearing that voice right now, and I gotta sit down, do some soul searching. So where I'm at now is I'm going to use my platform to get the word out. I'm going to sign petitions. I'm going to make phone calls. I made phone calls earlier this week, and I'll continue to do that. I'm going to do my part. But these protests are getting a little violent, man. Things is getting set on fire. Tear gas is being sprayed. I got pre-existing
conditions.
I got issues myself, so the climate is a little too rough for me right now, man. I'm not as young as I used to be, man. I got some brains now.
You have to be on the outskirts.
But somebody
of that
wants
crowd.
to go sing some songs somewhere, Jess. If y'all want to go sing some songs, you know, we can social distance, go caroling. I'm about that. I'm about putting positive energy in the atmosphere.
Maybe we should have Jess come on and close us out with a song. She laughing at my song selections.
I want the dub bots, man. The Dudley bots. Where the dub bots at, man? It's past their bedtime.
Yeah.
Hey,
all right, AJ.
Destin said, make sure I don't get voted. I don't get put back in office.
Ooh, Ted. You're not saying you, Ted. Oh yeah, I got you. You seen the other Ted.
I know. I'm covering y'all.
Hey, that thing's already in the bag. That thing is fixed, B. I'm out.
I'm out. Y'all, man. Jessica says she sleeps, so she can't see.
The kids asleep. The kids asleep.
I don't remember the last time I heard Jessica sing. It probably was back in 1999, 2001 at Oakwood. But next time we come on, Jessica, we would like to hear you sing if possible. Anyways, guys, this has been a real. Go ahead, AJ.
We'll be on Throwback Praise tomorrow here on Facebook Live with Xavier Lewis. We'll send information out, and then we'll see y'all back Monday night at 9 p.m. for our regular show. Man, please come join us 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Like, share, tell your friends, man. Come join us. We're gonna have some hot topics, something to talk about, and we'll see y'all then. What's up, Maurice? Man, sorry we can log off, but. Good seeing you on here, Maurice.
What's up, Maurice? Just a quick word. Just make sure you spend time with the people that you love this weekend. If you're a believer, whether you go to church on Saturday or Sunday, just spend time with your God, with your family, and tell those you love, those who are closest to you, that you love them, because you never know when that day will hit. So God bless you, everybody. Praying for y'all.
I gotta do the Sabbath school lesson, man, for tomorrow. Who's staying up with me, man?
Hey, I'll give you some pointers. Hey,
man, we love y'all, man. Thank you all for joining in. I'm Croc Kicks signing out. We got Gio, we got Ted, and thank you.
Gio. We're gonna put this up on YouTube too. So for those who coming in late, Maurice. You can watch it, you can share it, subscribe, send somebody. Man, we really want y'all to get on our YouTube, trying to put some content on there and build that up. So.
Do we have you want to talk about the podcast, the possibility of one, or is that just too soon?
So we're gonna look out too, man. We're working on this podcast thing, man. Hopefully Monday's show will become a podcast. So the means that we're going to use, we're going to still do our live shows on Monday nights. We're going to podcast it as well for those who want to listen to it later on when you're driving down the street or whatever. And then we'll also have it on YouTube for those who want to watch it later. You can't, for whatever reason, you can't tune in. You go on YouTube later and check it out. So we're just trying to make sure we're reaching y'all on every medium. So please support. We need y'all support. Keep us going, man. Seeing y'all come on here, our viewers come on. It helps us out, man.
Are we?
No, not tonight, B.
You know why that answers like
that? I'm wearing chancletas right now.
We're gonna highlight a shoe. Man.
Yeah, we got tradition, man.
We got tradition, but we highlight a shoe, man. So yeah, we're gonna go right here. Infrared 6, infrared Jordan 6. One of the first Jordans that I wanted as a child. My parents told me no. So as a grown man, I went and got these shoes.
Bossed up.
yeah, for me,
Hold on.
I want to go ahead and do my Air Max, my Air Max Day. You see, it says March 26, 326. Air Maxes, man, these are comfortable. They're clean. I love them. I've worn these so much, but they still look pretty good. So, and I'm on my Air Max kit. I think we lost Gio. He's our producer. He's our Teddy Riley, so we probably lost.
Well,
him.
he was. I think he had a church event earlier, so he had some church shoes on. I like the 326 on the tongue, man.
Oh yeah.
That's another.
That's some Air Max days.
It looks good. It looks good.
A little flex. A little flex.
A little flex.
A little flex.
For those who don't know, every year.
I'm gonna diversify a little bit. I usually bring out some Jordans, but today I'm gonna give y'all some Pumas. Can you see these Pumas?
A little NASA. I like that for the Huntsville. I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? This is a shout out to everybody from Huntsville. The translucent bottoms. I mean, them junks are sick with it. I mean, I don't usually rock Pumas, but when I do, I make sure that these are it. So yeah, man. That's what it is. I thought it was going to be us on I thought it was going to end a somber note tonight, but hey, I love your energy, Shay. I really do.
That same energy, baby. That same energy.
That's it.
All right,
hey, Sophia, my sister's on. Hey, hold on. Let me give my sister a shout out. She's out there in California. Sophia, we love you.
Hey, make sure you go on YouTube and watch it again, and like, subscribe, and share it with your friends.
All right, we're gonna go to this out. We're gonna go to this outro. Let's see if this thing gonna work.
Let's see.
Come on, Teddy Riley. Get us right.
I like it.
I don't know if he did it, but I'm gonna do it one more time. It did it. Okay, hold on. We're having some technical difficulties. We're on this new thing. Hold on, we're gonna get it straight. My credibility's on the line. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Here we go.
No, it didn't do it.
No, hold on. I got you, fam. I got you.
There you go. I don't know, God.
How my sister? I give my sister Tony a shout out since we still on.
We're working through some stuff.
Hey, you cut the feed, brother.
Hey, who y'all got? Kirk Franklin or Fred Hammond, real quick. Who y'all got?
Kirk Franklin all day. Kirk Franklin all day.
I got Fred, baby. I got Fred.
Bro, y'all sleeping on Kirk, man. Y'all sleeping on Kirk. All right, we out. Hey, Tony. You gonna see